Have you ever looked at one of those massive global corporations and just wondered, how do they manage to present one single coherent financial statement? Well, today, we're going to break down exactly how they do it. Let's dive into the pretty fascinating world of financial architecture. I mean, it's a huge challenge, right? Just imagine a company with different legal entities all over the planet. How do they take all that separate financial data and roll it up into one clear, accurate picture for investors, for regulators, and even for their own leadership? That's really the core question we're going to answer today. And look, this isn't just about adding up some numbers. We're talking about different currencies, different local rules, totally different accounting systems, and they all have to somehow speak the same language. It's a puzzle, and it's super complex, but luckily, there's a very structured way to solve it. And this is where it all starts. Before a single number gets crunched, you have to build the blueprint. You've got to tell the system exactly who is part of the family photo, so to speak. This step is absolutely critical, because if you don't do this, you just have a chaotic mess of data. So how do we actually build this blueprint? Well, we start with the smallest, most fundamental piece. I want you to think of it like a single Lego brick in what's going to become this massive, intricate castle. And this first piece, that's what we call a consolidation unit. So here's the key thing to remember. A consolidation unit isn't just a department or some office. It represents a distinct legal entity. It's a single company, a subsidiary that's part of the bigger corporate group. This is our individual building block. To make this a little more real, just think about a big multinational company. Its Canadian operations, that's one unit. The US subsidiary, that's another. The German branch, a third. And you get the picture. Same for France and Belgium. Each one of these is a distinct consolidation unit, a separate financial entity that has to be included. Now, not all units are created equal in how they get their data into the system. Some are integrated, which basically means their financial data flows automatically directly into the central accounting system. It's like a direct data pipeline. But then you have non-integrated units. Here, the data might be tracked in a totally separate system or, even just a spreadsheet. That information has to be uploaded manually. And this distinction is really key to understanding the nuts and bolts of how all this data actually gets collected. Okay, so now we've got our individual building blocks. Those are the consolidation units. But, a pile of bricks isn't a castle. We need to organize them into some kind of meaningful structure. And this is where we start building what are called consolidation groups. A consolidation group is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's just a way to bundle those individual units together for a specific reason. You can think of it as a custom-made container that you, the user, get to define in order to create a specific financial report. And this isn't just for, keeping things tidy. This is a mandatory step. You literally cannot create a consolidated financial statement without first defining which units belong in that statement. The group is what provides the scope and the boundary for the report you're about to run. And this is where the real flexibility comes in. You could create a world group that includes all 5 of our example units for a big global report. Or maybe you just want a North America group with just the US and Canada, perfect for analyzing regional performance. Or how about a rest of Europe group for a specific tax filing? The point is, you build the groups you need for whatever financial story you want to tell. So now we can start to see how all these pieces really snap together. We've gone from individual bricks to a structured blueprints, and it's all designed to solve that initial, super complex challenge of global reporting. It really all boils down to this simple but powerful logic. First, you identify your individual building blocks. Those are the consolidation units. Second, you arrange them using a blueprint. That's your consolidation groups. And finally, from that structure, you can generate the result, a clear, consolidated financial statement. Simple as that. So the most important thing to take away from all this is that this system of units and groups isn't just some technical exercise. It is the fundamental framework that allows a complex, global organization to tell a single, unified, and understandable financial story to the rest of the world. And that leaves us with one final thought. If this level of structural clarity is possible for financial reporting, letting you view the company by region, by country, or as a whole, how might that same thinking, that same kind of blueprint, influence a company's big strategic decisions? About where to invest, where to grow, and maybe where to pull back. It's definitely something to think about. Thanks.
If you work in finance, you know the feeling all